Hello fragrance family and friends, I'm Tommy with Studio Scents and welcome to another edition of My 2 Cents on 2 Cents. Today's focus is going to be on two fragrances that are drastically different in timeline. I've got a 2020 release and a 2001 release, so when we return we're going to take a look at Paco Rabanne's Ultraviolet Man and Montblanc Legend the Eau de Parfum edition. That and more, so stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome back. So on this second edition of My 2 Cents on 2 Cents, we're going to be taking a look at Montblanc Legend Eau de Parfum and also Paco Rabanne released Ultraviolet Man. Now we talked about Ultrared Man, which is a fantastic gourmand fresh fragrance. So we're going to go ahead and look at Ultraviolet Man first, but first let's check out that presentation. We've seen this presentation with Ultrared Man, which is a discontinued fragrance. However, several discounters still have some out there. So if you haven't picked that up yet, you might want to pick that up, especially if you're a fan of gourmand fresh fragrances, like gourmand fresh fragrances. Ultraviolet Man, of course, is featuring the color of purple. It's back in 2001 when this first came out. This is what's called a trigger atomizer. So you just, pull the trigger like that and it sprays a generous amount. I'm talking a lot of juice gets pumped out in one spray. Now what about the juice in this one? Let's talk a little bit about that note breakdown. Ultraviolet by Paco Rabanne is an oriental woody fragrance for men. It was launched in 2001. Top notes are mint and amber. Middle notes are vetiver, pepper, and spicy notes. Base notes are oak moss and vanilla. So let's take a look at that juice. Interesting note breakdown. I kind of like where this seems to be going. And it takes no pressure at all to spray a ton of juice. I didn't think I would like the mechanic of this very well, holding your bottle like a gun and spraying it on, but it works really well. It's very cool. Very interesting. It's definitely a little bit softer than what I'm used to for Paco Rabanne. This to me is almost like Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir light. It's like a light version of that Blue Noir. It's got a very musky, lightly mossy amber, that gray amber with a light hint of mint. It's a lot less sweet than what I anticipated from Paco Rabanne. You know, Paco Rabanne's heavy on the sweetness. Pretty much every fragrance they release has got some kind of Invictus sweet vibe to it, but this one does not at all. It's a really nice departure from that typical DNA, Paco Rabanne. Again, it carries a light woody, earthy, mossy, musky, amber, just a very nuance or hint of mint to it. The juice is more of a representation of what you're getting in the fragrance than the actual overall presentation and the overall color of purple, because it's very, very light. I like this though. This to me I thought was going to be wholly a casual wear fragrance, but you could actually wear this lightly dressed up. It's got somewhat of an upscale feel to it, not maybe full on suit and tie, but in light dress of fashion or attire. Again, very much a lighter version of Blue Noir by Narciso Rodriguez. I very, very much like that. Was not expecting that in Ultraviolet Man. This isn't your sexy fragrance that you're thinking, typically your sexy date night alluring fragrance. This is more of like a light, mossy, musky, masculine signature scent for a man to wear at any time or any occasion. This one I would recommend only wearing during spring, summer, and light cool weather, such as fall, but not into winter time. This is going to kill the fragrance completely. Cold weather or even high heat would kill this. So don't wear this in extremes. Being a lighter fragrance, I'm curious about the longevity. So I'm going to give you a full review later on this and let you know what it's really going to be like, but it's not projecting super well. We're going to check those results later on. Well, that's my 2 cents on Ultraviolet Man by Paco Rabanne. Our second fragrance that we're going to take a look at today came out in 2020. It is from the house of Montblanc. It is Legend Eau de Parfum. Curious about this one. I do have Legend, the Eau de Toilette. I wasn't blown away by this. It didn't super thrill me, but it's a decently solid fragrance for what it is. However, I'm hoping that they bump up the volume, pump up the volume, as well as bump it up in the Eau de Parfum. But first, let's check out that presentation. So there's some marked differences in the presentation from the Eau de Parfum, or I should say from the Eau de Toilette to the Eau de Parfum. Of course, notice you've got black and gold highlights as opposed to silver highlights on the Eau de Toilette. Of course, this is the 75 ml version of the Eau de Parfum. The discounter that I went to purchase this from was all out of the 100 ml, so I had to get the 75 ml bottle. That's all they had left. I feel like it's going to be a really good fragrance, a much more solid performer than the Eau de Toilette, but let's take a look at that note breakdown. Montblanc Legend, the Eau de Parfum, was released in 2020 from the nose of Olivier Pachou. Top notes are bergamot and violet leaves. Middle notes are woodsy notes, jasmine and magnolia, resting on a base of leather and oak moss. So, and I just tried the Eau de Toilette just a second ago just to kind of spark my memory. It's primarily a light iris, light leather fragrance that is a nice signature scent for spring and summer and lightly cool weather, not necessarily winter months. But I do like the Eau de Toilette. I just felt like it was the promise of something more that didn't super deliver, but it is definitely a relatively solid performer for what you're getting. But there's something to the backbone of the Eau de Toilette that I just didn't care for. It was almost like a medicinal cleanser feel to it. I don't know if that's the most apt description that I can give you. Some people smell Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense and also subsequently Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun, and they also get that cleaner sensation or feel, that astringent industrial cleaner smell. I don't get that out of those, but I definitely kind of get it out of this. So there's something, although I like the open, the mid of this, and specifically the dry down, wasn't to my liking. So I'm hoping this is going to be improved upon in the Eau de Parfum, so let's not wait anymore. Let's check out that juice. I do like the presentation a lot better. So instead of metal, you're getting actual glass. The metal is just like shoulder pads on the fragrance, and then the bottle itself is glass, and I think that looks very classy. More classy, I should say. Of course, you get the Montblanc emblem, snow-capped mountain emblem. Try this out. All right. I am a fan. I'm a big fan of leather fragrances. I'm a big fan of iris. I'm a big fan of jasmine, magnolia. Florals are really, really nice when done well in a masculine man's fragrance. When you add it, especially with leather, similar to like Valentino Uomo's Intense, you get fantastic results normally. So I'm happy to say that astringent or that cleanser smell is completely gone. It is sans that in the Eau de Parfum, so that is a huge positive for me. This is a very clean, woodsy leather fragrance. This isn't an older, mature, settled fragrance. This is more of a youthful, energetic fragrance. This isn't the older, mature, cured kind of leather. This is the young leather that still has lots of movement to go. You know, it's like a brand new leather pair of shoes that you put on and they feel way too tight and are slightly uncomfortable, but the longer you wear them, they become your favorite shoes because, of course, that leather breathes, it moves, it forms around your feet or whatever body part you're wearing it on. And it's got that really nice, bright, new, light leather feel to it, young leather feel instead of the mature, darker, cured kind of leather. The florals are playing a huge role, especially on the tester strip, so I'm interested to see what this is going to do on skin. So I've sprayed my right arm with it. Now let's test the Ultraviolet Man on my left arm. Yeah, so there's that mossy light underfunk that comes from like tuberose or moss, musk, oak moss, and that amber. So it gives it kind of a gray, like a modern gray feel to it. It's not a dated scent, but it is also a very subtle, quiet scent for being in a trigger gun. You know, you think this is gonna be loud, it's gonna be sweet, it's gonna be youthful, and it's really none of those things, at least not on my skin. Now, you may have a different experience. If you do, please let me know. I'm very interested in what your experience with this is, because mine is much different than what I thought it would be. It's not unpleasant. I do like it. It's just a little bit more, again, it's a little bit more Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir, which, by the way, I have the Blue Noir Extreme now that I'll be giving you guys a first impression on soon. I'm very excited about that because I love Blue Noir. I love it. But it's like a Blue Noir light, really. It's got that mossy, kind of funky musk that is really masculine and really nice. I'm not necessarily blown away on skin with the eau de parfum. It is definitely a true eau de parfum. So this is definitely carrying what was started by the eau de toilette into a little bit deeper, richer territory in the eau de parfum, but it's the same DNA. It's that same smell. It is still missing that astringent medicinal background. It's a lot smoother and a lot more refined than the eau de toilette, which an eau de parfum honestly should be. So it's actually not projecting as well on my skin as the eau de toilette is projecting, but it's going to probably last longer. And that's really the flip side. Typically that's the case where eau de parfums, higher concentration of oils, are a little bit heavier, so they sit closer to the skin. They last longer, but they just don't project as much. That's normally the case with eau de toilette versus eau de parfum. It's a much more pleasant, more refined version of the eau de toilette. I'll definitely be giving this some wear, whereas I really didn't wear this very much at all, but I'm kind of curious to wear this more and see where it goes, and that way I can give you guys a better, more informed opinion. But my first impression is, it's okay. It's okay. It's better than the eau de toilette. It doesn't blow me away, but it's a nice light leather fragrance. I want more time with it to give you a better assessment. This one is a casual wear fragrance as well as a semi-formal wear fragrance. It would be a great office scent. Definitely something that might pull you compliments. I say might simply because it's not a beast of projection, but those around you, if you're sitting relative proximity to someone, might smell this and might give you a compliment. So I'm not going to take that away from it. It may be a compliment puller, but I'll definitely have to give it some wear and give you my own experience with it. Well guys, that's it for my 2 cents on these 2 scents. That is Montblanc Legend, the Eau de Parfum 2020 release, and Ultraviolet Man from Paco Rabanne 2001 release. I think I like them on equal level. That is, I'm not blown away by them, but I think they are going to be solid fragrances for what you get, for what you pay for them. Watch out for this one. It's still a new fragrance. I think you can get it at fragrancebuy.ca for this size for not super bad, around 43, 45 bucks, which is not bad for a Montblanc fragrance. They use quality ingredients in their fragrance, and of course, Paco Rabanne. I don't know if I'm going to keep this particular scene in post-production, but I literally had a major power sneeze 5 times in a row, and I have no clue what happened. Maybe some of this got up my nose or something and I'm allergic to it, but I don't know. That was crazy. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.